Welcome back to your guide for Knights of the United Islands of Mirelva. Today we're going to cover Tommy, who is a ranger and hails from Mirelva. And as you know, this is the game Brigandine, Legend of Runersia. And before we get into it, if you could like and subscribe, help the channel grow, that'd be great. So, all right, let's talk about Tommy a little bit here, and we'll see what he's all about. So he can be a pretty decent knight. Now, rangers, what I have to say is they're more tactical knights, though. So if you're looking to pull the enemy towards you and trap them, and or just pull them out of alignment and do weird things to the enemy's formation, these are perfect knights to do this. So initially, the thief class, you start off as thief class. Tommy doesn't, though. He's already a ranger. But thief class is really kind of hard to level up. It's so hard. It's one of the most Project Knighty kind of things that you could do to really struggle to level in this game. Good thing he doesn't start as a thief, because I gotta say, thieves don't really have much going for them. They gotta run around. They gotta hit with a little pocket knife, and pray to God they don't die in the battlefield. They have good agility to evade things, but if they get chained and pincered, well, all that agility doesn't mean anything to a very squishy defensive knight. As you can see, he already has 90 defense being a ranger. Now, being a thief, that's even less. So I'm just saying, they can be great knights, but you got to be careful with what you're doing and your placement and stuff. You got to be very precise with what you want to do. But if you know what you're doing and you do very well, you can make a really tactical knight work amazingly well and just run circles around the enemy. So that being said, let's look at some of his stuff here. As you can see, little pocket knife, little basic dagger, light armor here, gauntlet and ring. He gets double movement because he's a ranger. So that's basically you get to move most of your mobility, and then you get to finish off whatever else you have left with your mobility. So I would recommend going attacking and then pulling back. Or getting something to be on your side so you're not getting pincered, right? Be the best way to do that. Evasion goes up to D because of Ranger, I believe, and that's pretty cool. Hit points are all right. The hit points are, fairly high, but kind of all right. Attack is okay. 145, not amazing. Really, what you're going to be looking for here is you're going to want an okay amount of hit points, as much agility as possible, and you're going to want a decent amount of MP, and I'll tell you why in a second here. But what does he start with? He starts with growth rate of C, which is okay, and command range of 3. So really not going to be able to fit a lot of monsters on his team. Try to get ones that are more mobile and agile, like flying unicorns, and nightmares can work too. Maybe dogs and coatls, wyverns, things like that, so they can sort of keep up with the dude. All right, so we get some of this stuff here, right? We get swift cut, basic attack, plus 10 accuracy, power of 100, just very, very basic, just the very basic level, right? Of 100. Shadow Steel. This is something new, and I'd like to showcase this to you, but it doesn't work all the time, and you got to get a kill essentially, and the enemy has to be wearing a piece of gear. So this is only good if you know you want to get this kill and you want to get this kind of gear. Then you can do it. I mean, if you're running over a whole team of treasure hunters and rangers, you can easily do this anytime, but that doesn't often happen. So this is one of those little one-off things that you can do. Try to remember you have this, because it doesn't cost you any MP to do it, but the power level of it goes down by 30 points. So you're thinking if you're going to go and do a swift cut attack and it's going to be okay, you're going to kill it, you're doing 30 points less of damage to try to get a kill shot. So the enemy has to be down to like 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 hit points. I'm serious. The enemy has to be ridiculously weak for you to want to do this and have a piece of gear for you to want to steal. And you probably can steal that. So I guess you will ultimately get to steal it. I don't do it very much because I'm more concerned with the battle, and I'm not checking out everything for gear all the time. So I guess I don't have the thief's mindset. But if you do, give it a try. Might be really fun for you to just steal all the gear you can find. Okay, so draw trick. This is where the ranger and the treasure hunter come out on top. Now I know the power is not as good. It's the same as Shadow Steel, 70 power, right? It does cost 30 MP to do, but it works 100% on ground and sky. It has a range of 3, and it gives you an element of blue. There is no accuracy bonus because it doesn't matter. You're just going to be able to hit anyways. So that's not even a thing. What you're going to do is you're going to draw the enemy in, and if there's a free space within any square of you lassoing the enemy towards you, that monster will be pulled closer to you. So you can draw monsters into traps. You can draw them into a pincer move. This is where this particular knight can reign supreme in a lot of tactical positions. You might not have the the upper hand, but if you can pull the enemy into a position that they can't get out of, unless they fight their way out of it, or try to move back after you've done this, you can get the pincer move on them and get the extra crit and just go to town. This is where I've done this before. I've run with 3 rangers before. I call it my Power Ranger crew. It's a lot of fun. And you just pull them into so many traps and kill off the bosses or kill off the monsters. Geez. Once you start to understand how to utilize this, you'll have so much fun. I guarantee it. All right, so draw trick is a lot of fun. You have to give it a shot. As you can see here, it's right here on the left here. These 3 spaces are going to be able to pull an enemy towards you. So you have 3 spaces to do it, right? Okay. All right, so besides that, the other stuff that he gets the ability to cast a flight spell. Now, you're not going to be floating in anything, but it will say you are flying, and so you're harder to hit unless they have centaurs. Then that's a different story. And it is pre-move. That's a spell you can do. And there is charm. So men in this game get to do charm, and there you go. You get a charm spell. But it does cost a lot of MP. So when we're talking about this draw trick, I do this a lot, and it's a ranged move. You can, even if you don't have any real big intentions, you could just do it just to have a range attack and kind of get away with it. But it does cost 30. So right now I've got 168 MP. So you got to, calculate that in your head and see how much MP you're going to have overall to be able to do that and how many times you can do it. Because once you run out, you run out. So you might not want to do the charm spells. You might just want to do more draw tricks. But it's up to you as how you want to play. All right, let's finish this off here. All right, so Tommy, gender male, age 62, class ranger. Background, the leader of Casadora, one of the islands in the Mirelva archipelago. Brothers in arms with Ginny, and the 2 free spirits have played major roles in the upholding order in Mirelva and her surrounding seas. Children love hearing about the exhilarating epic Ginny and Tommy left behind in their younger days, but alas, time and tide wait for no hero. Tommy is a little hard of hearing these days. He finds Ginny's loud hollering and Stella's sharp shrieks easy to understand, but Pluto insists his semi-deafness is a result of hanging around them for too long to begin with. So he was one of the, or still is kind of considered one of the higher-ups of Mirelva. And he's a pretty decent knight, but he's more of a tactical player. And so you got to get used to understanding how to use this draw trick. And once you know how to use a draw trick effectively in battle, you can do so many things, it'll blow your mind. But I would consider Tommy a really, really good knight. But I do like to have rangers run as a team. So if I have another ranger on my team, it helps out even more. But let me know what you think about this guy in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. So I'll end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Brigandine guide video. Take care.